What is up, everybody? The Pistons finally, and I can finally say it's official, the Pistons finally got a win. We snapped our 14-game losing streak. I know everybody is happy. I'm excited right now. We just got a standing ovation in the LCA, Little Caesars Arena, and the Pistons finally got a dub, man. So we're finally going to talk about this game. I'm going to have a whole bunch of notes here. I'm going to put the stats on the screen while I go over my notes, but I just wanted to say, man, I'm really, really happy right now. The Pistons finally got a win. The Detroit Lions, they got a win today as well, and I'm feeling really, really good right now. So before we get into all of that, please make sure you guys like this stream. And then if you're watching this later, if you like, because I know a lot of people, they tend to watch my live streams afterwards. So if you're doing that, please make sure you like the video as well. Now, let's get into this. As you guys can see on the screen, the Pistons win 100-90. And I'm going to go to my notes. And the first thing that I took down was that Isaiah Stewart, he thanked the fans. If anybody was watching early, it was like 5 minutes before the game started. Isaiah Stewart, he went out there and he thanked all of the fans. So that was really cool to see. And, the Pistons, they ended up getting the win in the end. So it was really, really cool to see that. And then Killian Hayes, he got into foul trouble really, really early in this game. I think that's my dog yelling. I don't know. But Killian Hayes, he got into foul trouble really, really early in this game. So if you look at the stats, they could have been a lot higher than they were. Right there. Actually, I have the Heat stats on the screen. Let me put this Piston stats right there. There you go. So Killian Hayes, he finished with 11 points tonight, and I feel like his stats could have been much, much better, but he got put in foul trouble early in the game, so he had to sit down. Saban Lee, he got in. Corey Joseph, he got in as well. So the Pistons, not the Pistons, Killian Hayes, he got into foul trouble early, which kind of derailed him. But in that fourth quarter, Killian finally began to feel more comfortable. He was attacking to the hole. He was drawing a lot of fouls. And, in that fourth quarter, Killian Hayes was looking really, really good. Hamidou Diallo, he was aggressive in the first quarter. Sadiq Bey aggressive in the first quarter. And, getting back to Diallo, he uses his explosion and his speed to get past his defenders. And I love to see that, man. Every single time he gets the ball, he just goes right past them and scores the ball inside. He may draw a foul here and there as well. So I like that out of Diallo in the first quarter. Isaiah Stewart, he was looking active on the boards tonight. Cade Cunningham, he played really, really good post defense on KZ Opala, and then also Dwayne Dedman. He got put on him on the play, and then he forced Dedman to miss a shot. So that was really, really cool to see. Saban Lee, he got in the game late in the first quarter, and he had a few turnovers. And I would say the Saban Lee tonight, he played kind of wild, if you understand what I'm saying, because Saban Lee, like, he would get the ball and it felt like he was rushing. If you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like Saban he wasn't really calming down tonight, and it felt like he was forcing some things. So it was a bad game out of Saban Lee. His shots weren't falling as well, but I'm not gonna get too hard on him. It's still his first. What is this? It's like fourth game in the NBA. Not the NBA this season so far. So Saban Lee, not gonna go too hard on him, especially with him coming off of having a really successful G League season so far. I'm not gonna go too hard on Saban Lee. I'm just gonna chill on him. So and then also Luka Garza got in the first quarter as well. So that's basically everything that I got for the first quarter. And then I'm gonna get to my second quarter notes after I take a sip of water. But how are you guys feeling? Pistons got a freaking win, man. I see all of y'all in the chat. I'm gonna get to everybody after I finish going over my notes. But the Heat, they kept on doubling Cade Cunningham, which was very, very frustrating, especially when they would do like pick and rolls with Isaiah Stewart or pick and rolls with Trey Lyles. Off of those pick and rolls, they would tend to send two guys at Cade Cunningham and try to trap him and force him to pass the ball. So that was really, really frustrating. Cade Cunningham only finished with 4 points tonight. And then as well, he got in foul trouble. He actually fouled out of this game. So Cade Cunningham, it was a rough game for him. He did have 9 assists, so he was dishing the ball out. But, the Heat, the way they play defense, I guess you give it to, the credit to Eric Spoelstra and the training, the coaching staff over there, and then the execution by the players of the Miami Heat. Very, very good game out of all those guys. And it was frustrating, to see Cade Cunningham getting doubled darn near every play. Let me see. What other notes do I have from the second quarter? The bench couldn't get a rebound in the second quarter. Rodney McGruder got in, and we still haven't seen any Josh Jackson as of recent games. So that's a thing that I guess I will talk about in future videos. But that's everything from the second quarter. Now getting into the third quarter, Hamidou Diallo, he came out aggressive in the third quarter, attacking. He was having good on-ball defense as well, being a hound there. So on both sides of the floor, Hamidou Diallo was playing well. Killian Hayes was being aggressive, drawing fouls. What else do I have from the second quarter? On Trey Lyles, he had a really cool hype play where he ended up dunking the ball, and then I think the next play he blocked it as well. So on Trey Lyles, he had a few hype plays this game, and the crowd got hype as well. So that's basically everything from the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, the Miami Heat, they came out with a lot of energy. Struss, how do you pronounce it? Struess or I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he was knocking down a lot of 3-pointers for the Heat, and he was really keeping them in this game. Killian Hayes, he forced a turnover on Kyle Lowry. That was really good for him. And then a note that I took is that the Pistons in this game, they were learning how to close in the fourth quarter, because that's something that the Pistons haven't done so far this entire season. For most of these games, it would either be in the third quarter or the fourth quarter where the Pistons would just flat out lose it. So it was really good tonight to see the Pistons finally learn how to win in the fourth quarter. What other notes do I have? Saddiq Bey, he hit back-to-back three-pointers around 4 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And then Killian Hayes, he hit a three as well. And that's basically all of the notes that I took from the game. So that's basically everything. I'm going to get into the comments now. And the Pistons, we got to win, man. We really did. We were on the verge, actually, of being on a 15-game losing streak, which would have been the worst in Pistons history. So it was good to see us get a win. The title of your Bobo video says Central Draft Target instead of Central. Okay, let me check that out. It does say that. Nobody told me. I posted this video like a week ago. Thank you, my man. Demon Emmanuel, what's up, my guy? Hold on, let me change that for a second. Center draft target. Center trade target, whatever. Thank you for letting me know. Headband Deke, yeah. Ever since Saddiq Bey put the headband on, he's been killing it, man. Actually, let's look up his recent games. Saddiq Bey. Because I believe it's been a 3-game stretch where he's been playing like this. Yeah, so 28 points against the Indiana Pacers, 23 points against the Rockets, and tonight 26 points against the Miami Heat. So 3 games in a row. Where Saddiq Bey with his headband has been going crazy, man. So I'm really good for him. K only had 4 because he got doubled. Laugh out loud. Saddiq looked great. Also 21 points. Also, I think Diallo deserves more time. Yeah, so the first thing that you said with Cade Cunningham, I already talked about this a little bit, but basically every time he touched the ball, the Miami Heat, they would double team him. If it was on a pick and roll, they would double team him as well, and they would force him to pass the ball. So tonight for Cade Cunningham, couldn't really get into a rhythm. And I believe in the fourth quarter, or at least heading into the fourth quarter, he only had 2 shot attempts. So, Cade Cunningham, a rough night for him. He was in foul trouble as well. But, I guess I credit most of that to the Miami Heat and their good defense and, recognizing how good of a player Cade Cunningham is already. So that was the first thing that you said. And then you talked about Saddiq Bey, 21 points. I have the stats on the screen. 3 games in a row where Saddiq Bey has been killing it for us. And then Hamidou Diallo, you say you think he deserves more time. Let me go back to the stats. How many minutes did Hamidou Diallo get tonight? Diallo. He got 30 minutes tonight. So I disagree with you. He's in the starting lineup right now, and I don't have too much issues with him. So I don't have too much issues with him only getting 30 minutes. If anything, that's the perfect amount of minutes that you would want for someone like Hamidou Diallo. So I kind of disagree with your third point there. Refs been on some BS. I could kind of agree with that, but I don't usually complain about the refs in the NBA. But I will say that play where they called the foul on Cade Cunningham, where he was out of the restricted area or whatever, I disagree with that call wholeheartedly. So I guess I can agree with the point that you made there. But for the most part, I don't usually complain about the referees in the NBA. Saddiq came in clutch in the fourth with 2 threes in the last 2 minutes. Yep, he hit both of those back to back. And then Killian Hayes, he came in there as well, and he hit a 3 as well. So really good for those 2 guys. And actually, let's see, what was our shooting percentage from the 3-point line? Because we couldn't hit a shot tonight. And as you can see, 8 for 32 on 25%. They hit 13. So yeah, shots weren't falling for the Pistons tonight. And actually, the broadcast, George Blaha and Greg Kelser, one of them, they said in the middle of the game, it felt like an old school basketball game where guys couldn't hit shots at all. And I kind of did have that feeling tonight where guys just weren't knocking down shots. So both sides of the floor until later in the third and then most of the fourth quarter. Chris Jett. Joe, do you think with the way Sadiq been playing lately fuels the Jeremy Grant trade talks? That's a good question. I wouldn't say that they fuel the trade talks per se, but that's really interesting. But because like those guys, they play similar positions, but at the same time, they don't because on the Pistons, like initially coming to the Pistons, right? Jeremy Grant was supposed to be like a small forward type, but then they moved him to the power forward. No, he was supposed to be a small forward type, and then I'm tripping. Blake Griffin was here. He was the power forward. So they had to move Grant to the small forward position. And now with Sadiq Bey being here and with Blake Griffin gone, now Grant has moved back to his natural position, being the power forward. So they play similar positions, him and Sadiq Bey, but at the same time, they kind of don't. So, you talking about does it fuel the Grant, trade rumors? I don't really know. And actually, let's type it in to see. I think I typed in his Jeremy Grant, the real Grant, our Grant. Um, I want to see if there's any new trade reports or trade talks at all. Piston trade. Will they trade Grant now? Since Lakers. Let's see what they're talking about. Grant to the Lakers, huh? Let's see. Now this is obviously not official. This is just them talking. Grant, LeBron, 12. I don't want to have to read the full article on the stream, but okay, here we go. This is what this article says. The LA Lakers received Jeremy Grant and Rodney McGruder, and the Pistons received Taylor Horton Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, and Wayne Ellington. It's kind of funny that they threw Wayne Ellington into this deal since we already had him. But if this was the offer from the Lakers, I would say no to this for the simple fact that yes, I do like Taylor Horton Tucker, but outside of him, I don't want anybody else in this deal. Kendrick Nunn, I think he's 26 years old now. He's a solid point guard. I believe he can be a starter on occasion, maybe a backup on a few nights, but not really interested in adding another point guard to the team, especially with us already having Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham. And then Wayne Ellington, the swap for Rodney McGruder for Wayne Ellington, that's a good swap. But just in general, you have to think for Grant, I feel like we could get, much more for someone like him. And, especially with the way he was playing this season and what he did last season, this just would not be enough for someone like Grant. So I hope that's not the, real thing. Obviously, this is just an article where people are just talking and making up a whole bunch of rumors. But yeah, that's a no-go. Cade had 10 assists, not 9. Stat sheet needs to be updated correctly. Let's go back to that. Did they update the stat sheet? Did they update it? Let me refresh the screen. Let me see. On here it said, okay, it is updated now. So Cade Cunningham finished with 10 assists on the night. Picking Chet Holmgren will be like picking Killian Hayes. I'm glad Joe Polo is not the Pistons GM. Oh, this is the guy, for anybody who just tuned into the stream. This is a guy, I blocked him a long time ago, and he's made a whole bunch of fake accounts coming back to try to troll me. And he actually commented on one of my videos earlier trying to troll me. And this guy, just ignore anything that he says. He doesn't know what he's talking about at all. That was absolutely terrible officiating. Yeah, especially on that play where Cade Cunningham with the whole restricted area thing where they called it on Cade. I disagree with that call. But for the most part, as I said earlier, I never really complained about refs in the NBA. Can't wait to see the highlights. I didn't get the chance to watch live. Sounds like a good win. Yeah, it was a really good win. Against the Miami Heat, obviously without Jimmy Butler, without Tyler Hero, no Bam Adebayo. They were missing their heavy hitters, obviously. So, with the B squad basically out there with the Heat, the Pistons ended up getting a win and taking advantage of that. And actually, let's pull up their roster. Dwayne Dedmon, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, all of these guys, they're fine players. Some of them, I would say, are fine players, but, just not the heavy hitters that they have on the Heat. And the Pistons tonight, we really took advantage of that. A win is a win, but the Heat had many of their significant players out. Yep, just talked about that on the Miami Heat. Most of their heavy hitters, their big guys, they were not playing tonight, but a win is a win at the end of the day, especially when we were on the verge of being on a 15-game losing streak, which would have been the worst in Pistons history. So I'm going to take this win, even though it was basically the B team, the G League squad for the Miami Heat. Magruder should not be playing over Josh Jackson. Yeah, that was something that I talked about earlier in the stream that I don't really understand right now. Like, why is Josh Jackson? Maybe I could make a video out of this. Like, why is Josh Jackson not really getting minutes right now? And I'm pulling this up to see when was the last time he played. Josh Jackson game log. Let's see. Josh Jackson hasn't played since Portland? No way. Wait. Oh, okay. That says December. Okay. So he played in the Rockets game, which was 2 games ago, I think, or 3 games ago. That it feels like he hasn't played in such a long time. But yeah, as you can see, the point totals, they're not the greatest, but he hasn't really been given much opportunity as of recent times since Grant went down, and then they pumped up Hamidou Diallo, and they decided to go with Rodney Magruder over him for some reason. And Magruder, he's been playing really, really well, but should he be playing over Josh Jackson right now? I don't think so. So Garza was a difference maker in the first half with offensive rebounds and a big three. As usual, excuse me, with Casey, he never saw the court again. Yeah, I believe Garza, he got in late in the first and then a little bit in the second, I think, but we didn't see much more of him after that in this game, which really didn't make sense to me, especially when the Heat had their, like, let me pull it back up. They had this guy who I never heard of before. Like, usually, I pride myself on knowing who guys are on both teams. And, most of the time I know who they are, but this dude right here, Omir Yurtsev, I've never heard of this dude before a day in my life. And he played solid. He was getting rebounds out there, but I wish we could have seen Luka Garza in the game more so that he could have went up against this guy. Because look at him, 12 rebounds, 6 points. I feel like, and then Dwayne Dedman in the starting lineup. I wish we could have seen more of Garza so he could have went up against those guys, because it's the difference between going up against them and then their main player, Bam Adebayo, from the Miami Heat. So, yeah, I can completely agree with you, Rodney. I wish we would have saw more of Luka Garza. He played really, really well, and he was effective in the few minutes that he got. Trey Lyles actually made an impact. Is this a dream? Yeah, Trey Lyles this season, it's been an up and down thing for him. He's a role player. I believe we're paying him $5 million per year right now. So I never want to get too hard on someone like that. But, Lyles tonight, he did have an impact, and he did really help this Pistons team tonight get the win. Forrest is right. There is no reason to have Magruder out there at all. Yeah, between Rodney Magruder and Josh Jackson, I'm definitely the type of guy who would prefer to go with Josh Jackson over Rodney Magruder. I am so hoping Killian keeps getting better. I just don't think playing off the ball is helping him. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I do agree that I would love to see him have the ball in his hands more, especially with, Cade Cunningham being so young right now. He turns the ball over frequently, and he has an issue with taking care of the basketball. So I would love to see Killian, get the ball more on a few plays, but at the same time, it is Cade Cunningham. You do have to let him, run the show with him being the first overall pick and him, being as talented as he is. But I do agree with you. I would love to see Killian have the ball more in his hands. And actually, since you said that, let's pull up Killian Hayes. What's it called? Workout. Let's pull up a workout video so you guys can see this in the background. And there goes my stream. Killian. Oops. I still got to get used to typing on this Mac. I mean, it's not my Mac, but workout. Okay. I put this one in the stream yesterday. No. Let me see. Well, I don't want to get copyrighted because of those, so I guess and of course I get hit with the ad. I guess I'll go with this one. Hey, there I go. It's like, nah. Jason Tatum ad. Imagine I get copyrighted because of a Jason Tatum ad. Let me get that off the screen right now. I'm waiting for the ad to go. Okay, there it is. Training with Will Bynum. Yo, what's up, Braxton Plays? I was surprised when I saw you in that 1v1 basketball vid. You seem like a guy who would be 5'6". I mean, technically, I'm not 5'6". I call myself 5'6" because I can have that like underdog mentality. I'm really 5'8", but yeah, I got to do more 1v1 in real life basketball vids. What's up, chat? Yep, what's up, my guy? Let's get Garza at least 15 minutes a game while we have a banged up front court. Yeah. especially, as you said, a banged up front court, no Kelly Olynyk, no Grant out there, obviously. And then we have Trey Lyles, who plays the center on multiple occasions. So I would love to see Garza get at least 15 minutes. That would be a good starting point for him. Do you think Sadiq continues playing this week? I think you meant this well. Do I see Sadiq continuing to play on this level? I mean, obviously it's the NBA. You're gonna have your up and downs, but he's had a really rough season so far. Like he's had a really bad stretch of games. So hopefully he continues to, keep this up and have a good stretch of games. He's building up his confidence right now. His shots are beginning to fall. So hopefully he will continue to, keep this hop straight up. And I hope he will. And I believe he will, man. I really, really do. W W Bay. Do you think Sadiq Bey just answered that? Go Polo. What's up, Andrew? It's weird they lost against the Rockets. Not really. I mean, if you watch the game, the Houston Rockets thoroughly beat us for the entirety of the game. What a loser life he must suck. Ignore that troll. Actually, since you said that, I know you said ignore the troll, but actually, I'm gonna pull it up. Joe Polo 10. He has something to say. I think it was about Killian Hayes. Joe Polo 10. Go to me. My chat video. Where is it at? Where is it at? This is what he said. He said, I knew you create a hype video about likely NBA bust Chet Hogan. Okay. Don't quite know how you've chosen. Wait, don't quite know why you've chosen sports broadcasting as a career. Definitely better than being a scout because you get fired quickly. And then he said, stop hyping up players who suck. Detroit Pistons don't need fans like you. And then he didn't mention it there, but he frequently talks about Killian Hayes being a bust. So yeah, I try to ignore the trolls. I try to ignore the haters, but sometimes with the stupidity that they spew out, you kind of got to respond to them. The Lions won too. Yeah, the Lions got their second win today. Really, really good to see. Both of our sports teams, our major sports teams, getting victories. And then the Red Wings actually, Dylan Larkin, he had a hat trick as well. Top 3 scores in this game. We ain't winning. I'm glad we didn't make the headlines as beating the record of a losing streak. Yeah, according to the broadcasters, if we would have lost tonight, we would have been on a 15-game losing streak, which would have been the worst losing streak in Detroit Pistons history, which is shocking to hear because when you think about it, and when I think about my time being a Pistons fan, like this does not really feel like the worst team that we've ever had before. Like it does. Like this team is bad. Don't get me wrong. We lost a lot of games, but it does not feel like this is the worst or one of the worst teams in Pistons history. I mean, I grew up watching Grant Monroe, Charlie Villanueva, old Tayshaun Prince. Like actually, let me pull it up. Pistons record by year. Okay, let me go back to those old Pistons years, right? From like when I was growing up. This era right here, right? 27 wins, 30 wins, 25 wins, 29. Wow. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Like it just if it doesn't feel like this team is as bad as those teams are. I guess we are. I guess we're worse actually than all of these teams. But it just doesn't feel that way. Like I remember watching Kyle Singler and all that guys, Greg Monroe. Excuse me, he was solid on the Pistons, but I'm just trying to say that the team that we had at the time, we were really, really bad during this era. So it was really, really shocking to hear the announcer saying that, this current Pistons team with Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes, as bad as we are, to hear them say that we're worse than these Pistons teams right here was really, really shocking, man. And then I know before Isaiah Thomas got there, apparently look at this, like 16 wins, 21 wins. Like before Isaiah Thomas got there, the Pistons, I remember watching in the Bad Boys documentary. I mean, not the Bad Boys. Yeah, the 30 for 30 Bad Boys Pistons documentary. I remember they said that, before Thomas got drafted, the Pistons were a terrible team. So, even with this, as bad as this team was, apparently they didn't go on a 15 or 14 game or whatever losing streak, man, which is crazy. Duncan Robinson isn't worth 90 mil, baby. Okay. Also didn't get to watch the game. What happened to Cade and his 4-shot attempt? So basically, Cade Cunningham tonight, he played well for what happened to him, but The issue was that they double him on darn near every play, so he couldn't really get into a rhythm. Especially on pick and roll plays, they would tend to force Cade Cunningham to pass the ball. So Cade Cunningham tonight only with 4 shot attempts. It's mainly because of the defense, the IQ of the Miami Heat players, the execution of the game plan drawn up by Eric Spoelstra and the coaching staff over there in Miami. So 4 shot attempts for Cade Cunningham tonight. Not really his fault. It was just really, really good defense and a good strategy by the Miami Heat. Did anyone see the fool get arrested? Laugh out loud. Yeah, I saw like on the game when I was watching it, they kept on stopping the play, and I was like, "What the heck is going on over there on the sidelines?" But then I looked at Twitter and I got a whole bunch of notifications basically saying that 3 fans in total got tossed out tonight. We don't know what happened. We don't know if they actually I do know what happened to one of them. One of them actually kept on heckling and talking crap to Dwayne Dedman, the Miami Heat center. So that's why that person ended up getting tossed out. But the other 2 people, I don't know at this current moment in time why they got tossed out. So did anyone else see the fool get arrested? Yes, I definitely did see that and saw it on Twitter. I want to see Cade, Kill, Bay, Gaza, and Stu be on the floor together. This team's ceiling is much higher than those teams. Lowry has more games played than our full starting lineup. What's the NBA record for the most losses in a season? I think that's held by the Charlotte Bobcats. I think they were at the time. Worst NBA record of all time. I think that's the Charlotte Bobcats. Yep, I'm right about that. The Bobcats clinched the worst record in NBA history in a shortened season or otherwise by losing 104 to 84 to the New York Knicks on April 26, 2012. Guard forward Gerald Henderson, haven't heard that name in a while, led the team in scoring with an average of 15.1 points per game. Yeah, this is the worst, not statistically, the worst record team in NBA history. As you guys can see right here, 7 wins and 59 losses. And, look at this team, man. Bismack Biyombo, where was he? Kemba Walker. This is a rookie Kemba Walker, I believe. And yeah, this is just a really, really bad team, man. As soon as he touched the ball, they doubled and tripled him. He actually played well, 10 assists, I think. Yeah, Cade Cunningham, he played well tonight, but the defensive strategy by the Miami Heat was really, really solid, man. And I'm about to go look at the Pistons YouTube channel to see if they have posted any of the this is my dad's account, so please, I don't know anything about this. This is all his stuff, but Pistons YouTube. Let's see, have they posted anything yet? No, they haven't posted the game yet, but actually, I think we can go to the Motor City Cruise, our G League team. I think they'd be posting. Yeah, I think we could play the highlights during the stream. Do they not have a separate YouTube channel for themselves? There they go. Luka Garza, we could play this in the background. Of course, I get hit with an ad. Oh, I forgot. You guys couldn't see the screen at all. My bad. Well, you don't need to see the ad. You don't need to see that. A few more seconds. Okay, so I could put these highlights on the screen. Let me see. As soon as I hope this win signals something significant in the locker room in terms of turning a new leaf. Yeah. I wrote it down during the 4th quarter. Where's it at? Heat came out with a lot of energy. No. The thing that I took down and that I hope the Pistons can build off of and learn in the future, is that, this is really an opportunity for us, or at least I hope that this is an opportunity for the Pistons to build off of this and, learn how to close games late in the 4th quarter, man. Because for the most part this season, the reason why we lost so many basketball games is just for the simple fact that we don't know how to close games right now. And tonight was the first time we're in the 4th quarter. We didn't completely choke it away. So I hope that this game is going to be a building block, and I hope that we learn to close games more in the future. And, looking at these highlights, Luka Garza, man, I want to see him get more minutes, definitely. And this was, what was this, yesterday or 2 days ago? Because I haven't got a chance to finish watching the Motor City Cruise game yet against the Cleveland Charge. I watched like the first, I guess Jamarco Pickett's his highlights about to play, but I watched the first like 30 or 20 minutes of the game, but I haven't finished watching it yet. So, but yeah, it's really really crazy. Like the Pistons actually got to win. Like it's like it hits, but it doesn't hit at the same time. If you know what I'm saying, like because this whole losing streak, man, it's especially as a content creator, people don't really be interested when the Pistons are losing a lot of basketball games, and it's been really 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 tough to keep people interested in this team. But finally tonight, what was I about to type? I forgot, but finally tonight, Pistons get the win. I forget. I was about to type something in, but I completely forgot. Friday night. Let's go to some articles though. Pistons. Oh, in this. Let's see. Let's see what people talking about. 21 minutes ago. Let's see. Iserman. Gotta get you off my screen, bro. Not Dan Campbell. Come on now. Pistons beat Heat with big third quarter halt 14 game losing skid. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, you can. Oh wait, this is December 19th. What is today? December 19th. Hold up. Okay, 21 minutes ago. This is the one. Okay. Detroit. It was a record that they simply didn't want. The Pistons' 14-game losing streak had tied the single season franchise record, and facing the Miami Heat, they had a chance to avoid history. History will have to wait another day. The Pistons played a spirited third quarter to push ahead, and unlike several leads during their losing streak, they held on down the stretch in the fourth quarter and embraced a 100-90 victory over the Heat on Sunday night at Little Caesars Arena. Box score is their first victory since November 17th. That's crazy. Against the Pacers, Diallo finished with 15, Bay with 26. Dang, look at that record though, 5-24. That's crazy. But yeah, and actually, let me pull up my YouTube channel. There's another record that just got made by Killian and Kate Cunningham. They both it's a brand new assist record. Oh, Everything King is. I was wondering why my views are so low. It's probably because Everything King is live right now. But let me go to it. Here we go. The Detroit Pistons, Kay Cunningham, 11 assists, and Killian Hayes, 10 assists. Each dished out at least 10 assists yesterday. It's the first time in NBA history two teammates aged 20 or younger have recorded at least 10 assists in the same game. Yep. And let me go to the comments to see what y'all talking about. Funny how these haters, they gonna say better since day one. Yeah. Most of the time, when people talk badly about the Pistons, especially in today's, modern social media era, they're talking so much crap right now, but in a few years when Kay Cunningham and Killian Hayes are at their best, they won't really be saying much. And, there's a lot of buzz talk going on around right now, especially with Killian Hayes, but in a few years, that talk will definitely stop, man. Others can laugh now, but the Pistons will be the most entertaining team in the league soon. Yes, sir. Great feats. Go Pistons. Dope. Shout out to my man's Will Upton. This is one of my guys. He makes a lot of Cavaliers videos, Rockets videos. And I've come into contact with him. He's a pretty cool dude. So shouts out to Will Upton. We still lost. Notable for sure. Nice stat sheet. Yes, sir. My boys, Trey Killian. That's funny. But what is he talking about? So I guess I'm gonna end the stream off here. I didn't know Everything King was streaming. If I knew that, then I probably wouldn't have streamed tonight. Because when he's streaming, you better watch out if you're a content creator, because he's the top dog. I mean, look at him, 11K subscribers. He's probably the best Pistons and Lions, Wolverines, and what's it called, Pistons, Lions, and Wolverines. That's the main teams he be making videos on. When he's streaming, you better watch out. So yeah, I'm gonna head off here. You guys can go watch his stream. And I'll see you guys in the morning. I'll have a video out talking about Kay Cunningham and a college basketball coach speaking on Kay Cunningham. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me get to the last comments. Honestly, even with all the losses, it's enough for me that Kay and the other young guys see even baby steps development I guess the key here is that they don't get demoralized long term is what matters. Yep. Bruh, I came all the way to Detroit from Florida to see my favorite team lose. Wow, so you're a Heat fan? That's crazy. Good thing all my family is from Detroit. At least they have fun. That's crazy that you came from Florida to see us lose. But I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody, the few people who came in here, that came to check me out and tune into the stream. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Much love and support to all of y'all. Wishing you guys the best. Thank you as always for giving me a job. This is a job of mine that I'm really, really grateful for. And I will see you guys tomorrow.